Welcome back to Shippy Farm and Forge. Today we're going to forge a knife out of this. An old leaf spring. Fire up the forge. First thing I'm going to do, start forging the tip. Now I'm going to start thinning this leaf spring out. It's like a 1/4 inch thick, so I don't want my knife that thick and heavy. So I thin everything out evenly. Good shape for a Bowie knife. Now we're going to start forging in the bevels. So I'm going to use this corner of the anvil right here on the step down to make the kind of the plunge line, rough plunge line, and then work my way down the bevels on both sides. Try to turn into a banana when you try to draw out the bevels. So either you got to pre-form them. In fact, let's pre-form it. Which means bend it forward so that when it bananas, it comes out straight. I think I'll do that next heat. we're going to use the guillotine tool with the butcher dies in it and isolate the tang on this thing. Cut this off, draw out the tang. Man, that was fun. I haven't forged a knife in a long time. I do make about 4 or 5 knives a year, usually stock removal, and I usually just donate them to a church auction or a school auction or give them to my friends. Now I'm going to put this in the forge to anneal it, which softens it up and makes it easier to grind. So I'm going to put it in here, close the forge up, and just let it cool down on its own time. It'll cool down really slow. All right, well now we got this thing forged and annealed. Now it's time to grind it. Let's get to it. Looking pretty good. Just want to put a little false edge on the top though. I always kind of like that on Bowie knives. I'm gonna burn my tip off. Oh well, I'll reprofile it and make it better. this edge on the top. I think it makes it look a little cooler. Okay, I got my file guide back on, and I'm gonna now try to cut these shoulders here. They need to be exactly straight across so that when I make my guard and seat it on there that it fits real snug. All right, I got those things flush straight across. I feel it with my finger and there's no lip whatsoever, no catch. Made this file guide out of just hardenable steel and hardened it so the file would skate across it and not dig in. Otherwise, you'll just ruin your file guide pretty quick. So I'm gonna try something a little different this time. Never done this before, but I think it will make a good thing for the transition here. I'm going to actually file across here as well and make a little lip, because when you slide that guard on, at least with mine, it's never quite perfect, and there's tricks to do that to make it better, but I'm going to file just a little lip there so that it fits better and it looks better. So let's try that. A lot of guys will do this with a mill, but I don't have a mill, so I can use a file. And you know, a lot of people don't have a belt grinder either. You can do everything with a file. It's just harder. It just takes a little longer, but I also think it's probably more rewarding in the end. Okay, that's what we got there. Got a little file line, a little tiny lip there. Not much, but it'll help make that transition look a lot better. So I picked out an antler in my box of sheds that a buddy gave me. I don't have the time or patience to look for sheds, but I appreciate it when somebody gives them to me. Anyway, found one that has a relatively straight beam handle right here. I think I'm going to use it for this knife here. So I'm going to cut it off and get it ready. And the reason I'm doing it now before heat treating, I'm going to have to bend this tang to curve with the antler. And I want to do that and get it right before I heat treat it and not have to heat it up again and risk ruining the heat treat on this thing. So we're going to cut this thing off, and it's got a little kind of boo-boo on this side, or somebody cut a tine off. Anyway, I'm going to clean that up, and we're bend this tang and then heat treat this thing. So let's get to it. Stinks when you cut antlers. Pretty much all it took. Now the forge is warmed up and the knife's already semi-hot. It's a good time to heat treat it. First we're going to thermal cycle it. Heat it up to red hot and let it cool down. Air cool, we're going to do that 3 times. I like to put it edge down and not directly under the flame, so it's not so harsh heating up. Let it heat up a little bit slower. I turn the forge down. Yeah, so it's not blowing so hot. don't know if you can see this. Picked up a little wart in the clinch. Okay, so I got my little clamping set up here. This piece of angle iron, and I'm going to tighten this down, over correct the warp just a little bit, and then we'll temper it at 400 degrees for 2 hours, 2 times, and that should take the warp out of it. I've done it before and it's worked. Just need to tighten this down a little bit. You gotta kind of be careful because this is hardened steel and it'll break easy. Just get a little bit past. Are you absolutely kidding me right now? Oh man, I can't believe that just happened. It's been about 3 days worth of work on this thing, and as I'm tightening it down, it snapped. Snapped in half. Oh man. Well folks, unfortunately sometimes that's the reality of knife making. I really think it's only happened 2 other times to me, but it does happen. I guess it is what it is, and the positive side of this is that now I get to forge another one. Click on the video somewhere around here or maybe down there and watch me make the other one. Thanks for watching. Come back and see us again next time.